Hi everyone, this is Dr. Chhoda with Ignition Time, and thank you for being a viewer, thank you for being a subscriber, and welcome to our channel Ignition Time. I really appreciate you being a viewer and subscriber. If you're not a subscriber yet, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Please enable notifications. That's your vote of confidence in me and my team and all the work that goes into this channel. Now, what I have in my hands here are all the notes that I took. Let me just show you all the notes that I took from the press conferences that were conducted by the President's doctor. Now, yesterday the President's doctor, Navy Commander Sean Conley, did conduct a press conference, but he actually had to walk back a lot of the statements he made yesterday. Now, let me be completely clear before I dig deeper into this and give you my analysis. Number one, I do believe that the President is getting the best care in the world. So this is not about me questioning the medical care of the President. Absolutely not. I do believe the President is getting the best care in the world, as he should. So that's number one. Number two, what I'm trying to do is simply decipher what is being said and actually what is not being said. Because you see, for someone who's not in the healthcare profession, it's very easy to look at the press conference and say, yes, everything's going well, and not understand the clinical implications of some of the statements that were shared today, which is that the President is on steroid medications, which, by the way, are only recommended in advanced cases or in cases that tend to have more involvement. So a lot of the things that were shared made me want to dig deeper into it and give you guys an analysis of what could potentially be going on. Again, I want to be clear, the President is indeed getting the best care in the world, and I'm not questioning the care of the President. What I am saying, though, is that I believe there are some areas of concern, and I also believe that we're not going to get an official response if there's any area of concern. I've been praying for the President and the First Lady, and I know all my viewers and subscribers have been as well. We wish the best. We wish a speedy recovery to the President and the First Lady of the United States. What I'm trying to tell you is I did detect some things that were an area of concern. I did detect some things that were a little worrisome. I don't think we got the full picture, and I'm hoping that that things get better quickly and we hear good news quickly. So when trying to analyze whether someone is transparent or not, the best thing you can do is analyze what they said and what they didn't say. And I just want to be clear, it's quite possible that the President, because of doctor-patient privilege, could have said, you cannot divulge this, you cannot say I was on oxygen, or you cannot say this, that and the other, which is that is a likely possibility. But another possibility is so Dr. Sean Conley has been in the Navy, so he's referred to as Navy Commander Sean Conley. Now, if the Navy commander gets an instruction from the Commander-in-Chief, the commander, the leader of the free world, so if the Navy commander gets an instruction from the Commander-in-Chief that you cannot say this, you cannot say that, he has to obey his commander. It's as simple as that. So I just wanted to get that out of the way before I dig deeper into some of the clinical indications of what was said. And again, for someone who's not a healthcare professional, you probably wouldn't be able to pick up on all this, but I'm going to jump straight into the facts right now. Once again, before I get into that, my name is Dr. Chhoda with Ignition Time. Please consider clicking like, please consider subscribing, please enable notifications. That would really mean a lot to me. With that being said, let's just jump right in. The doctor was asked about the scans of the President's lungs, and he said that there were expected findings. That's exactly what he said. In fact, let me share the 4 things that jumped out from Navy Commander Sean Conley's press briefing. Number one, it's that at one point the President's fever was high. Number two, the President's lung scans show expected findings, and we're not exactly clear what that means. Hopefully there are no signs of viral pneumonia, because COVID is something that impacts the lungs. And we also found out that the President is on a steroid, and I just want to be clear, the World Health Organization recommends that steroid only for, I quote, severe and critical COVID cases. And the President's oxygen levels did drop again yesterday. So that was the second time the President's oxygen levels dropped. So we do know that for sure. Also, in other news, the White House Chief of Staff provided information yesterday that was in many ways contradictory to what was told to us by Navy Commander Dr. Sean Conley. And it appears that the President was not very happy with the White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, who in turn essentially walked back his comments yesterday. So there was reporting about that as well. And in fact, it's very clear that the White House Chief of Staff is extremely tired. He was rubbing his head as the US Navy Commander, Dr. Sean Conley, was speaking. He's a White House physician, was speaking and addressing the media about the president's health. So that is, I'm sure that the White House Chief of Staff has had little to no sleep and is under a lot of pressure. The country is under a lot of pressure. Again, I want to be very clear. I do believe the president is getting the best health in the world. He is the most important person in the world, and therefore I just want to be clear. What I'm trying to decipher in this video is what was said, and more importantly, what was not said. So we don't know what expected findings means. So we don't know that. I think the key thing is he did not say that the lung scans were normal. I just want to be clear about that. Dr. Sean Conley did not say that the lung scans were normal, okay? So we don't know if there are any signs of viral pneumonia as far as the presidents are concerned. We do know there were 2 episodes when the president's oxygenation level dropped. We know that for sure. We know that the patient had high fever on Friday, and the patient right now, as far as we know, is on 3 medications. These are 3 pretty serious medications, guys. One is the president has had steroids. I believe the president has had 2 doses of steroids so far. By the way, I'll provide you with a link in the description section below to the actual press briefing with Dr. Sean Conley. Number 2, the president has been on an experimental monoclonal antibody treatment. So the president has received that. I believe it's from Regeneron. And number 3, the president has received remdesivir, okay, which is another form of treatment. And I just want to be clear, this is a 5-day course. Remdesivir is a 5-day course, which is generally administered in the hospital. And even though the president's physician said, hey, the president could be discharged as early as tomorrow, generally remdesivir is a 5-day course that is administered in the hospital. So regardless of whether the president is discharged and gets care under the White House, I just want the president to get the best possible care. And and they said that the president could be discharged as early as tomorrow. We'll wait and see if that does indeed happen. Again, I want to emphasize, remdesivir is a 5-day course in the hospital, and so the president has been getting that. So what we don't know at this point is that the status of the president's lungs. And again, the words that were used by the White House physician was expected findings. The doctor was also asked about cardiac, kidney or liver function, and he said they are normal or improving. I thought that was very striking. He said they are normal or improving. I haven't seen other media pick up on this and report on that. That I think is very, very striking. Does that mean that the president's cardiac, kidney or liver function was at some point compromised? Okay, because we don't, knock on wood. I have a table here, I'm knocking on it. But again, he said the cardiac, kidney or liver function was normal or improving. I don't think anybody else has picked up on this. And we also don't know when the president was diagnosed. I think that's an important thing to know, when the president was diagnosed, because there have been some conflicting reports about, we actually don't know. We've been told that the president was diagnosed on Thursday evening by Dr. Conley, but he also said that it was 72 hours ago when he spoke yesterday, which would mean that was the president diagnosed on Wednesday. So we don't have any clarity on that. And this is quite striking when he was specifically asked, hey, why didn't you share the fact that the president had been on oxygen therapy? Because yesterday, when Dr. Conley was asked over and over again, hey, has the president been on supplemental oxygen? He simply said the president has not been on supplemental oxygen today. And now we know that the president did indeed get supplemental oxygen yesterday. He said, I quote, this was done to reflect the upbeat attitude of the... And then he said something. If you look closely at the recording, he went like this. This was done to reflect the upbeat attitude of the... And then he stopped himself and said team. I believe he meant to say president, and then he stopped himself and said team. Take a look at that recording closely. I'll provide you with a link to the recording in the description section below. So I just want you to watch that closely. These are all very important indicators that that there is probably an instruction to reflect an upbeat attitude. And let's be clear. It's quite possible that that we're being told so that we don't panic, and and this isn't the first administration that's done that. But I just want to know that the president is doing well, and I'm trying to read between the lines, and I'm trying to decipher what was being said, because a normal individual, an average person watching would not know, and so I'm trying to read between the lines for you. So He also said, I quote, "I do not want to give information that will steer the course of the illness." I thought that was a very interesting statement. I do not want to give information. I'm going to repeat that again. I didn't want to give any information that might steer the course of the illness in another direction. That's what the doctor said. So when Dr. Connolly was specifically asked on why he didn't give us accurate information about the president's oxygen therapy yesterday, he said, I quote, "I was trying to reflect the upbeat attitude that the team, the president, that his course of illness had. I didn't want to give any information that might steer the course of illness in another direction." And that I thought was very interesting, because again, that means the information that we got yesterday, wasn't as accurate as had been indicated earlier. I just want to be clear. If a patient gets oxygen, that means the patient's lungs were compromised. There was a second episode, as far as we gathered, but when he was specifically asked why did the president need supplemental oxygen a second time, he did not provide a straight answer. He was also asked how high was the fever, and the doctor did not provide a straight answer. So this is where things stand right now, everybody. And I did provide an analysis of the statements from the White House physician yesterday. I do want to be clear. The risk factors for President Trump are that he's 74, he's male, the president is overweight. On the other hand, the Dr. Connolly, Navy Commander Dr. Connolly, did say yesterday that the president is, I quote, "very healthy, and he's not on medication for blood pressure. He's up and active. He's able to handle things." And he also said the president could be discharged as early as tomorrow, which, regardless of whether the president is discharged tomorrow or not, I just want to make sure that, that he's fine, and I'm sure he will be. But again, the inconsistencies, the gaps in the information that we're getting is something that I wanted to talk to my audience about, is something that I wanted to educate my audience about. If you learned something new from this video, please consider sharing this video with a friend or family member. Please comment below and let me know what you think. I would really appreciate your input. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. If you don't know anything about me, please check out my video. I have the fortune, the honor, the privilege of living the American dream. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. That's 2 p.m. East Coast time. So please make sure you click like, you subscribe, you enable notifications. That's your vote of confidence in us. That also helps the YouTube algorithm, so I would really appreciate you doing that. Now keep in mind that you can follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. You can also follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also ignition_time. That's ignition_time. Get breaking news and alerts from us on Twitter. Also, you can get on our SMS list. Get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000. That's 70000. This way you'll get added to SMS list, and you can also get on our email list. Go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts. You can get added to our email list as well as our SMS list. You can opt out of both at any point in time that you want. I really appreciate you watching. Make sure to bookmark youtube.com/ignitiontime. That's youtube.com/ignitiontime. This way, you don't have to depend on YouTube for notifications, and you can just come to our channel and watch our videos at any point in time that you want. I really appreciate you watching. I hope you learned something new, some new behind the scenes information. I hope you learned what the president's doctor just said and did not say, because I was trying to decipher, I was trying to analyze, I was trying to essentially sort of tell you what happens behind the scenes, and that is where things stand right now. Once again, thank you so much for watching. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. Thank you again. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.